Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to the Living Road. Today we're going to talk about why I ride.
Welcome to the Living Road. Engine loud, mind clear, two wheels rolling through the dust and the fear. Mountains to the coast, I ride with no script. Life's full throttle, yeah, I never let it slip. This ain't just travel, it's truth on the move. Every stop's a story, every curve's a groove. Hop on, hold tight, this the road I chose. No fake, no filter, just highs and lows.
A lot of people that are viewing my videos, especially on TikTok, are not riding yet, and they're just interested in it, and they have a lot of questions, and they don't know what to choose or if they even want to ride at all. And so we're gonna jump right into it, and why I personally ride, why I made the decision to be out here on the road, what I enjoy about it, and why it's worth it to me. So with the motorcycle are risks, and we're well aware of those risks. They need not even be discussed really, but you're aware of them when you're making the decision to choose to ride. And that's honestly what the hesitation is for most people. They don't want to be like that bug on the front of my helmet right there and squashed, and so they instantly shut it down out of fear. Respectable, and for some people maybe a great decision. So what I like to say, honestly, and maybe this is a brutal answer, maybe this is a brutal answer, but personally think that if you have to question whether riding is worth it to you, then it probably isn't. But maybe I'm not the one to give you that opinion, because I've always been a rider, and it's always been in my heart and in my blood since I was a kid. Started out on a dirt bike, rode the crap out of that thing, me and my friends building jumps out back, and just every single day on the dirt bike, having a great time. And that progressed into, actually, when I was probably like 14, I had a 50cc moped that I rode all over my neighborhood. And as soon as I was of age and could afford my first bike, I think I was 17 or 18, I was on a dual sport 250 Kawasaki, and I've been riding on the road ever since. So for me, there's never been a real question of should I ride or do I want to ride. I'm gonna ride. So where I'm coming from is a very strong opinion, strong base, I should say. And like I said, it might sound kind of brutal, but if you can't rationalize in your brain when you see this motorcycle, if it doesn't give you that feeling like I really want to do it, and if it doesn't kind of make you put the fear aside automatically, then it probably isn't for you. You might be doing it for the wrong reason. Maybe you're doing it because you think you'll look cool on it. You'll think somebody will give you some attention or something. I don't know. You got to be honest with yourself. All right. And I mean, these things are attention getters automatically. I mean, people turn their head, people look, put the camera on there, everybody's looking. But you shouldn't ride for that. And if you get into that group mentality where that's all you're thinking about and that's all you're doing, it's not going to end up good for you in the end. The show-off game and the group herd, that's where the problems happen. I used to group ride a lot when I was 21, 22, and my biggest problem I had with the groups is, why are we going bar to bar? I'm not comfortable with a big group of people out here on these super powerful machines, and they're all drunk. I kind of gave up on it once. We were doing a ride, and a bunch of drunk people were bumping into each other at the stoplight and started dropping their bikes, and I was like, this isn't really where I want to be. I like being in the big pack, don't get me wrong, it feels cool, and there's really a lot of cool stuff that happens, and if you find the right group that's all about riding, then so be it. That's what you need. But the group I was in, why are we bar hopping, guys? Anyway. So, you know, let's say you're not fearful and it excites you more than it makes you afraid, then give it a try. And I recommend, as someone with absolutely no motorcycle endorsement, I recommend you getting one. All right, and like I said, it's different. If you're questioning it, if you're thinking about it, you're not already riding, then you're not already familiar with it. It's not natural to you, and you need to get trained into it. And even someone like me, who's a little bit cocky, I guess you could say, about it, I should go take that exam and take the MSF, and I should get that knowledge too. So, not bragging, I am laughing and making a joke that I don't have it, because I've been riding my entire life. And one time I got a ticket for it, and I went and got the permit to get the ticket dismissed, but permit expires after 1 year. I didn't follow up. So anyway, it's just one of them things, man. Like, you should do it, and you're gonna learn a lot. And I think the biggest thing about going to do the class is that you get to use their bikes. Like, who wants to go and save up your money and go find the bike that you love, and the first time you're going to hop on it, you drop it just out of something silly, like you pop the clutch, or you just lose your balance in the driveway, and now you got scratches on your brand new bike, and you're not happy. You know what I mean? It's just, why would you do that to yourself? So you can go and you can get the knowledge from the class. They can teach you everything you need to know. You can use their bikes to do it, and when it's all said and done, you come out and get your bike and have experience already, so you're not messing up your brand new bike. So I highly recommend that for people. And when you finish one of those classes, you usually come out with your license, or the ability to go just take the exam at the DMV real quick and get the endorsement. You get to skip the road course from the DMV. So there's a big benefit of doing that. So yeah, let's say you like riding, you decided it's worth it, you're getting the proper training, you prepared yourself. Well, take it slow now and avoid the show-off mentality. Avoid trying to do things that are outside of your comfort zone, and just take it easy. Find some roads with low traffic. It's my favorite thing, even as an experienced rider. I mean, I'll be honest, there's a huge adrenaline rush when you're squeezing through traffic. I mean, when I was 20, in my 20s, early 20s, I would actually seek that out, and I shouldn't have. Looking back, it's silly, because one mistake, one thing goes wrong, and you're in for a world of problems. It's just not worth it for that kind of thrill. Where it's really fun and what's really nice, check this out. The beautiful views out here in the country where you're just chilling. Look, you're just chilling. I mean, you're going over beautiful bridges. You're riding by farms. I go out to this one place. The guy's got this mansion on the lake with buffalo in the front yard. It's like you're on a tour wherever you go on a motorcycle, and it's not about where you're going, it's about in between. So these little things that you're not really, and see, you always got to watch out. You never know what's in the road. You don't want to be that guy, and you don't want to hit that guy. It goes both ways. So the guys, yeah, it's a tour. It's an ongoing tour on a motorcycle. No matter what you're doing, you're enjoying it, and the destination is secondary. I mean, eventually you start to have some body pains and stuff, and you want to stop for a minute, and hopefully you're somewhere cool and you can make the best of it. But really, this is where it's at, and that's personally why I enjoy having like this mic on here, because in the past I couldn't. And see, I slow down. I see a truck, slow down a little bit, and if he was taking a left, I was prepared to stop if I needed to. These are the little things, guys, that in a car you're not really thinking about, but in a bike you're always watching what other people are doing, and it's better to be reacting, not overreacting, not stopping in your lane when you're not supposed to be stopping or something like that because you're scared, but being prepared. Like, let's say someone's about to pull out of this driveway in front of me right here, and they're probably gonna stop, but I'm not sure. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and let off the throttle. I'm gonna go ahead and hover the brake, or maybe even press the brake slightly, barely, so it's ready. I'm ready to stop. I'm ready to maneuver. I'm already thinking evasively at all times. and it becomes second nature. It sounds exhausting when someone's explaining this to you for the first time. Like, how can you enjoy your ride when you're thinking about a million things at once? But all those little things become second nature, but in the beginning you do need to practice them consciously and think about what you're doing and put effort into those decisions and conscious effort into preparation for the worst at any moment. And eventually, like I said, that becomes so second nature that it doesn't distract you from the good time. It's just built into how you ride. And you could just say it's just like riding a bike. You never forget. You just do it. Every time you ride now, that's how you ride. So anyway, it's good to practice that stuff. It's good to always be prepared for anything. So, the danger factor is there. Mediate it. I mean, look, that guy, he was looking down. That guy was, like, I bet, yep, he looked down at the last minute, pick up something. They're always distracted, always distracted. You're secondary in their brain. They're not thinking about you, okay? It's not necessarily a problem, though. Like I said, you don't have to live in fear. You just have to understand. You have to adapt. And with anything, you might not be perfect, and you could be as good as you want and still have a mistake. But what you do is you reduce your chances as much as possible, and you make the best decisions for everything within your control that you can. And that's how you mediate risk on a motorcycle. And a lot of accidents, a lot of problems that happen to people are self-induced. They're alcohol related. They're not wearing helmets. They're combined with both of those factors. They're on drugs. They're trying to race, show off. There's a lot of that. So when people are giving you the statistics, remember, they're not breaking it down like that. They're not telling you, who did something silly and who did something, that wasn't deserving of an accident or, whatever. They're not telling you all that. So anyway, the safe rider is at much less risk than people who put themselves in bad situations. And you can control a lot if you have the mental power to do so, meaning the self-control, I should say, mental self-control to control things that are within. Now look, I'm very experienced. I know this road. There's a huge bump at the bottom. I am not gonna go, see, slow down. Huge bump right there. The last thing I would want to do is be hauling butt right there on that bump. When he hits it, it looks like they repaired it because it was so bad. One of my past videos I showed I actually almost fell, but he was aware too and he was slowing down. But with my experience, I'm slowing down for that truck. I'm waiting, and I don't want him to hit that bump and go crazy and boom, fly into my lane and hit me. Always thinking ahead, no matter what. Becomes second nature. But you have to be that way. You can't just be out here la-di-da. I mean, for me to even be talking to you like this takes, I need to have ridden for a long time. I'm not going to sit here and brag and say, I'm experienced, but you can't be distracted like even this with talking and stuff. You should be really focused on your ride. So anyway, back to the fun stuff. I love riding. Look around. This is one of my favorite places. Check it out. You're part of it when you're out here on the bike. You feel it. It's not like being in your car where you're separated. You feel the environment. You're a piece of it. It's like taking a walk, you know what I mean, is the best way a non-rider could relate, like taking a walk versus driving through the city. Like, yeah, when you drive through, you see it. When you walk through, you feel it. But now you can go on the bike and go pretty fast and get a real feel of the environment. And you get the smells, the feels, the view. I mean, you get it all. The bike gives you all of it. Yeah, this is a pretty cool place out here. These are my favorite kind of roads to ride on. Like, why do you want to put yourself, look, the birds flying, Oh, birds over here eating the deer on the side of the road. Beautiful. Take the good with the bad, right? All right, bye-bye, sunset. So like I said, this is why I ride. I mean, for me, this is my backyard. Love it. Love where I live. I live in the best motorcycle place you could be. If I lived in the city, would I still have a bike? Yes. But I'd probably not have a license either. Bikes in traffic, you don't want to be in traffic and you make bad decisions. It's too easy. Know yourself. It's part of the game. Know yourself. I'm impatient. Damn, that's pretty. Really pretty. Now that's kind of the difference between a cruiser and a sport bike, though. I will give the cruiser, like when the views are good, you're way up, like because you're chilling, you can really take it all in. That's a cruiser. But, you know, on the sport bike, you get the views, but you're always super locked in on the ride. And even if you want to be going slow, it's just hard to be going slow. This is probably a cool one right here too. But the cruiser will let you just kind of sit back and take it all in. But then you'll have your boring times too, where yeah, a lot of times the cruiser for me is the most boring when you're in traffic because you have to operate more like a car. I'm not saying everyone does. I know someone's going to say, oh, I don't operate like a car on my cruiser. I mean, I believe you. But the average cruiser rider kind of locks in like a car and you get stuck in traffic and stuff. I'm not getting stuck in traffic on this bike. I'm just not. You know, it's one of the benefits of riding. I'm not going to be stuck in traffic. Now, can you legally get out of traffic? Yes. You know, lane filtering, you know, merging with signals back and forth. You don't need much space. Is it iffy, dicey? Yes. If you go straight down the middle on a non-lane splitting state, then obviously that's straight up illegal. But if you're just switching lanes left and right, there's not anything wrong with that. Feeling some weird bumps out here. Just making sure my tires are good. It's the thing on the bike, you're always locked in. You know, you don't want to wait too long to notice a problem. You know what I mean? You don't want to wait till the tire's actually flat to figure out it's flat. So, let's see, good example, guys. Now, am I a little dramatic? Yes, but better safe than sorry. If I had cars behind me, would I have slowed down quite as much? Probably not. Or I would have done a hand signal, things like that. So yeah, I mean, once again, guys, this video is very tailored to new riders because people watching a video about why do you ride typically are going to be a newer rider. So my content's not going to be not all about education, but when I have opportunities to show moments where we can learn, I think that it's wise to get as much exposure as you can. One thing I like to live by is, you know, if you can experience the problem through someone else's eyes or, you know, through their training without having to do it yourself, then why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you learn from someone else's mistake? And that's the whole point of, you know, passing knowledge down, is so that each person is stronger and wiser. So learn from people's mistakes. And when you have content right here that you can view at any time and watch all these different videos, then take advantage and take that in, you know, and if you learn while you enjoy the content. Shout out Dan the Fireman. Look up his channel. Someone I really enjoy watching as far as rider safety. That's all he's focused on, whereas that is not all I'm focused on by any means. But that's all he's focused on. I learn a lot from him, so shout out to him, and I appreciate the content he makes for every rider out there. And I think that's, you know, his whole thing too, is learn from his videos, learn from these problems so you don't have to experience it. I mean, think about it. It's the motorcycle, you know, one problem, it could be it. Why would you want to learn the hard way? You do not do not want to learn the hard way. Like I said, it's in my blood while I ride. When I'm out here, my mind is free. I'm enjoying every moment. I'm not thinking about the problems. So riding is really freeing, guys, and I mean, it'll take off a lot of pressure. It's relaxing. People say it's therapeutic. It's, you know, adrenaline, excitement. It's everything wrapped all into one. Gets you out, gets you around, helps you meet new people, gives you a reason to do something. I mean, I could go on and on for days, the endless reasons why I love motorcycles. And if you take a safe approach and it's something you want to do, you got to go for it. You know, the thrills you could get from riding far outweigh the potential risk for me. And that's really the decision you got to make right there. Is that statement true for you? You know, and as I'm sitting here saying it to you, I don't want to influence you to say yes. I mean, this is a big decision. You need to not take it lightly and not feel ashamed if you decide to say no or it's not for you. Like, know yourself. You know yourself best. Think about it. Make the most wise decision. I love it. There's no question about if I want to ride, I'm gonna ride. I'm gonna ride something. I'm gonna ride something today, I'm gonna ride something tomorrow. I'm gonna ride something till I can't ride nothing. It's just who I am. So I hope this video in some ways, you know, kind of just gives you I hope this video in some way gives you like a taste of why someone might decide to ride a motorcycle. And like I said, at the end of the day, there's so many different variables in each person's life, and it's going to be your call, and you're going to have to weigh all that, and you're going to have to make your own decision. I've went through all the cycles. When I had my first child, I decided to sell for a little bit, and I went for a year or two with nothing before finally getting a cheap cruiser just to have something. And you know, and my first thought was, there's no way I can ride and raise a kid. Like, but that was just the shock of being a new parent and not really understanding that just because you're a new parent or a parent, you can still enjoy life too. You don't have to give up everything you love. I feel like something just went weird on my bike though. I'm tripping. Let's go second. I think I'm tripping. See, she was looking down. Everybody's always looking down, man. For real, everybody's always looking down. It's just like what they do, you know. You're not paying attention. Actually getting my bike dyno tuned in a couple days. Lee's Performance Center in Mooresville, I think, or no, Statesville, North Carolina. Shit. getting my bike dyno tuned at Lee's Performance Center in Statesville, and the reason is I added a Yoshi exhaust, and ever since then I've had what I believe is an issue with my air fuel mixture. I just get a little burp around 6,000 RPM in each gear. It's not really significant. I could probably just live without even fixing it, but I want to get it tuned up and dialed in, and they're gonna flash my ECU, which means they're gonna reprogram the bike to basically run as optimal as possible. And I'll probably get it tuned up. I mean, oil change and all that kind of good stuff while it's there too. Why not? Around here all the time and holes. So I mean, it's it's a street, not a track. And honestly, it might sound like I'm going fast right now, but I'm not. I'm going just right around the speed limit. The bike gets loud and seems aggressive, but that's why I ride a 600, because if you ride at 1,000. You don't even know you're going fast, That's a problem on the street. You don't want that. That bump, man. You never know. It's rare, but they're out here, man. This bike handles them pretty good. Yeah, it scared me a little bit, but I'm glad it happened while I'm making this video. I mean, you don't feel like total loss of control or nothing like that. But it's just freaky. Just a, bump. It's freaky. I mean, should you ride? It's all up to you. You're gonna ride. If you want to ride. That's the way I see it. It's really not something that someone should convince you to do, you know? Do you want to ride or not? Is it worth it to you or not? If the answer is yes, try it. Safety class, use their bike. Hell, you might decide you don't even like it on their bike, and then you don't even have to buy one. Feeling I get when I ride is it's unmatched. I mean, it's just you're in another place, you know, and you're not worried about the problems, you're not worried about stresses, you're just worried about the ride, and you take everything in. There's nothing to distract you, you know. You're not checking your phone, you're not one of the distracted drivers out there and guilty of that. You're just locked in and enjoying yourself, and there's just nothing to worry about. I mean, it's hard to even describe the tranquility. I ride nearly daily. I just go out, get a little spin on these awesome roads back here. And what other toy, all right, this is another major riding point. What other toy do you just open your garage and you're there, you're doing it? I've had a lot of toys. I've had dirt bikes, I've had side-by-sides, I've had, you know, you name it. I've ridden jet skis, never owned one. I've rented them a few times, and I've had a boat, had all that stuff. And honestly, what fun is that? I mean, okay, take it back, backtrack. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's fun, a lot of fun. But the person that owns it goes through so much trouble just to get it to the lake or get it to the place to ride. And then once you get there, you got to pay them a bunch of money to be there if you're doing the riding places. And you know, who wants to do who wants to do that? Every time I used to ride my side-by-side, every time I'd go there, I'd have to pay for me and all the people inside it. It was like $150 just to be there. And the thing's already expensive as crap, and you're just out there on a trail. It's like, to me, four-wheelers and dirt stuff that, you know, if you got land, if you got places like this, that's where you go make the best with it. But if you can't, you go right out back and enjoy a four-wheeler. These cows always get stirred up by my exhaust. But if you can't go right out back and start a four-wheeler up and ride it on your property, or a lake is super close to you, it's a hassle a lot of times to get those things there. Then that's why they end up sitting. Motorcycle is the one thing that if you really enjoy it, it's always there for you. Just open up the garage, hop on, go for a ride. So anyway, there's probably a lot more reasons I could tell you to ride. I mean, honestly, probably go on all day and work on convincing you. The truth is, if it's something you want to try, you'll figure it out. And honestly, if you go as far as figuring it out, the likelihood that you're going to go all the way is very high, because it's a lot of fun. It really is. And you know, the fact that you pursue it means it's interesting enough to you where you'll probably find it the same. And so anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me on the Living Road. See you later.